Hi, I'm Dave Vickers and welcome to the Photo Show. In today's episode we've got another Photoshop tutorial for you, and it's the second part of our skin retouching series. Here we're going to look at softening the skin to give it that magazine cover kind of look. Remember, if you like what you see on the Photo Show, please comment, like and subscribe in the boxes below. Here's the video. This is the second part of the beauty makeover. You may remember in the last episode what we were doing was using the healing brush tool and the patch tool to get rid of the blemishes on this image. So that was the before and that's the after. What we're going to do this time is to show you how you get the soft skin effect that a lot of the magazines use on their cover images. So to start off with, we're going to merge these two layers down into one layer. So Shift, Control and E, and that merges the layers together into one background layer. Now, we're going to make 3 copies of that background layer. So if you hold Control and J again, and Control and J again, we now have our background layer and 1, 2, 3 copy layers above it. Go to the first layer, layer 1, double click where the writing is there, and that gives you an opportunity to change the name of that layer, and we're going to change it to Median, M-E-D-I-A-N. Click that. Go to your next layer here, was layer 1 copy, double click the name, and we're going to change that to High Pass, H-I-G-H-P-A-S-S. And finally on the top layer here, double click the name, and we're going to change that to Mask, M-A-S-K. Brilliant. Now turn off those layers and we're going to activate the median layer. So those 2 layers are now inactive, we're just working on the layer we've named median. If you come up the top here to your filter menu, on the drop down, come to the noise selection, and in the drop down from that, we have median. Ironically, the same name we've named that, so let's hit that. And as you can see here, if we turn that to 0, to 1, it has absolutely no effect. If we turn the radius up, just give it a second to start working, you can see what it's doing. It's really blurring the image. It almost looks like an abstract painting. But what this allows us to do is just to get the tones from the skin. So this is what we're looking for from the median layer, is to use this layer for the skin tones rather than anything else. So what we want is a setting that will give us some tones but without the details. And you can see here in the little preview window, we're getting the tone of the skin there. If I hold that there, you can see that you've got some detail in there, some texture, but we're just getting the tone. So I think we'll leave that at about 7. We'll click OK and leave that there. Next, go up to the next layer, to the high pass, activate that and hit the little eye icon so we're on. And what we want to use for this is the high pass filter. So again, come up to the filter menu, and all the way down at the bottom you have other, and in the drop down from that, the second one in is high pass. So click that, and this will give us what's called the high pass filter. It's given us a layer that is 50% grey, so it can be seen through, but you get this kind of weird grey looking thing. And as you turn it up, as you can see, what it's doing is showing us more and more of the texture of the skin. And we don't want this too high. I'm going to go slightly higher than I would normally, just so we can see what's going on here. If we go to about 3, 3.5, you can see we've got some texture showing in the skin there. So we click OK there. Now at the moment, obviously this doesn't look correct because it's the 50% grey layer and it's not showing the skin as it should properly look. So we come up to here above the layers palette, we have the blend mode. This is at the moment set on normal, so click that for the drop down, and we want to come down to overlay. Click overlay, and now what's happened is the high pass layer is overlaid over the median layer, so we're getting a mixture of the 2 there. Next we want to come up to the mask layer, so highlight that layer and turn the eye icon on, and now we're back to the original looking image above the high pass and the median layer. And as the name suggests, a mask, we want to add a layer mask onto here, so come to the bottom of the palette and we've got the layer mask icon here, which is the square with the circle in, so click that, and that's now given us a layer mask on that layer that we can start to work with. Make sure that your colour swatches are set to black on the foreground and white on the background there, and click B for your brush tool. So now we've got our brush tool up, there we go. There, so we can enlarge or decrease the size of the brush using the square brackets. And what I normally like to do when I'm doing this, because what we're looking to do here is just to erase the top layer area of skin. We're going to leave the eyes and the eyebrows, anything with detail, the lips and the nostrils, we're going to leave those on this layer and just use the mask to take out the other areas. But as you can see, if I start to work on this now, it's actually quite difficult to see what parts we've done and what we haven't. So to make this easier, what I like to do is turn off all the other layers underneath. So take the eye icons out. As you can see now we've got the checkerboard effect, which is Photoshop's way of showing no information. But this will show us where we've used the mask to take out areas of the skin. I find this a lot easier than working with the layers active underneath, because as I said, it's quite difficult to see which bits you've actually worked on. So I'm going to do this quite quickly. Again, normally you take a lot more time over this, because you can get the details in a lot better. So I'm just going to work nice and quickly here using the brush tool, just to erase away just the skin. We're going to leave things that need detail, need sharpness, like the nostrils there, and the eyes and the eyebrows. We're going to leave those as they are. I'm just going to increase the brush size here while we're up there, and just quickly run round. Like I said, I'm doing this much quicker than you would normally. Normally you take a lot more time over this and get a lot cleaner result. And again, you can see here I went over the area, so if you click X on your keyboard, you'll switch the swatches back around, and you can just put that back in, which is one of the beauties of using a layer mask. So X again, and we're back on the black as the foreground colour, and I'll just erase this out. I'm going to switch this brush sizes quickly so that I can get this done. There we go. I'm going to leave this area of the makeup here because it's got a bit of texture in it anyway. I think blurring that out would ruin what we've got there, so let's just finish off around here. Keep the lips there because it's got some nice texture on the lips. Come in nice and close, and that little edge there. Okay, so we're looking quite odd at the moment. We've just got the eyes and the eyebrows showing through with the rest of the face. Now if we start to add those layers back in, let's put the bottom layer back in. And that's our normal image. Now let's add the median layer back in, and you can see instantly the skin softens up. The eyes remain sharp and the lips remain sharp and around the nostril, and we just add that, and that softens the skin up completely. But that's a little bit over the top, it's a little bit fake, it looks plasticky. So if we add the high pass layer back in now, that's now starting to give us a bit of detail. If I zoom in a little bit closer, turn off the high pass layer, and again, because we've got these on separate layers, we can start to play with the opacity. So if we turn the median layer down, you can see you get a lot more texture, and just start to bring it back up to an area where you're happy, where you're getting texture and tone. And I think that's looking quite good now. So let's just zoom so we can see just the face. So there we are, we're at 100%. So if we just show you where we started, that was before, and that's afterwards. Before and after. And it's softened the skin nicely, but it still looks realistic. It hasn't got that plastic look like it was a doll or over the top. So there you go, that's how I use the skin softening technique. And again, you can use more blurring on the median and adjust it as you please, and more sharpening on the high pass. But that's the basic method for softening the skin on an image. In the next episode, we'll look at using dodge and burn to add contrast and shadow into into the image as well. For now, I'm Dave Vickers. Thanks for watching. See you soon.